Hello and welcome. Welcome. Come on in. Ensure that the waiting room here is open. Okay, good. Seeing everyone flow in. Get yourself nice and comfortable. Hello, I am Derica Famasili. I will be your manifesting mentor today. Come on. I want to see you. Please have your camera on. If you are here live, make sure we're recording. Yes. If you are here live, because there's a lot of folks coming in, you're here live, but there will also be so many brilliant, powerful souls watching this on replay. And so, but if you're here live, camera on, camera on. Okay. That is like you're coming into my Zoom room. If you have your camera off, it's like walking into someone's house with a mask on your face. You wouldn't do that. You just would. That's kind of creepy and rude. So come on in. And really the purpose is make yourself very present, be here, connect, be heard, be seen, be felt. And when you turn that camera on, you there's like this tap in connection, like you plug yourself in, yeah? When your camera's off, you're like, "Oh, it's this essence of you really don't matter. You're not really involved. You're not really here." And so therefore your attention can go to all these other places to distract you, and then you'll miss the train. Like you'll truly miss why you came here. The opportunity of why you manifested this workshop right now in your life would be gone if you're trying to do the dishes, run errands, do all the things. um where you at? Where you at? Because attention equals attraction. And so if you want to attract that bigger and better life, put your attention here. Yes, I see cameras on, baby. There's your beautiful faces. Good. And I want to address folks that are on the replay and maybe you feel like, oh, she's not talking to me because I'm not here live. No, I'm talking to you. I am talking to you. Feel this. Feel this. This is the power of energy. And I specialize in energy. And so trust that no matter when you're watching this, you could be watching it a dozen times, and each time I'm there with you. Each time this energy is in transformation mode. Okay. It is shifting things inside of your system, but you must have the attention there. So, like, I'm there. I'm there. Say, I'm here. I'm here. Even on replay, I'm here. I'm present. Put everything away. This should be your time. You know, I'm a mother of 5, and they're all under the age of 11. And so, I have to make sure even my windows are locked. You're laughing because you know it's true. They'll find their way in, right? They'll be knocking on that door, climbing in the windows. Um, I attract a lot of driven, powerful souls, mostly women and mothers. And so because of that motherly factor, there's always people in our field. This is your time. This is your time. Carve out the next hour and a half, 2.5 hours, however long we're going to go here. Carve it out as this is putting in the time, your self-care for your future self. Does that make sense? Like you get to have this moment. And I honor you. I see you. And I'm going to pour so much love and wisdom into you. I'm truly so honored that you're here crossing your life path with me. That's powerful. Look at that. 8 billion of us on this planet, and we're doing this blip of time, this incredible walk of life, of incredible evolution together in this year, in this month, on this day, at this minute with one another. Power. You're supposed to be here. And I know that. And so I will speak from that, and I will pour that much love and power into your transformation because I just don't take that lightly. Okay, you made this moment happen. You made this moment happen. Yeah? Okay, everyone give me a raise of a hand. If you, at some point, whether it was just yesterday or all the way up until 3 months ago, I'll tell you why in a minute. But as a process of manifesting, anywhere from yesterday to 3 months ago, you had some major breakdown to breakthrough moment where you asked, how am I going to manifest XYZ? How am I going to achieve XYZ in my life? I am so done with what I just experienced. I'm so over that. I am done with that. And I'm ready to have this new big, beautiful thing. Who's done that? Like with intensity. And you can like specifically remember, like, whoa, ho, every hand. No coincidence. So you're here and I thank you and I honor you. So let's go. Have your blue pen, have your paper, designated paper or journal, notebook ready because I've never done the same workshop twice. Never. I've been professionally being a trained manifesting mentor since 2012, and I've taught at major universities all over California, so many workshops and online shows and summits that I can't even count. Okay. And I can tell you in all of those years, I've never done the same show. I've never done the same training education. And that's because I'm really pulling from you watching. Okay. This is what you need in this moment. So even I always keep making sure I'm recording because I'm going to want to go back and watch what I just said. Right. I really am. This is channeled. Okay. We're tapping into the ether and pulling in infinite wisdom right now. Hello. All right. So I wanted to, some of you, I love seeing your face again, familiar souls. We've done great work together, but there's a lot of you I've never met before. This is brand new aura I'm seeing. And then on replay, ooh, very good chance we've never met before. So who is Derica? Who is standing in front of you right now? Let's build connection. I will love to see the chat blowing up if you're live and cognitions if you're watching a replay, write things down because you're going to see that there's a lot of similar things happening in my journey and yours. Okay, of why am I your mentor? Okay, why are you here? Why am I talking to you and not somebody else? You're going to see why that's happening. So before I go into introduction, as you're probably wondering how today is going to go. Let me give you the quick agenda here. We will spend a couple hours together and they will be profound. They have the power to change your life. As I said before, I've seen it. I'm saying this so confidently because I've just seen it. I've seen it too many times that I don't have even 1 ounce in my body of doubt at all. No doubt. If you play all in right now, your life will change, point blank, period. What do I mean by that? Really take note, write down the information that is landing with you, apply the things that I'm saying, and dreams come true. Dreams come true. So over this time, I'm going to take the best of everything that I know, and I'm going to translate it the best that I can for you and what you need to hear right now. It's like the cream of the crop, okay? That I'm going to cover a ton. And in between this, I'm going to do it in a very digestible way because I know that we need time to process and digest the things that we're hearing for it to stick. I'll take pauses so we can, I call it wringing out the sponge, wringing out the sponge so we can have more room for more. I want to give you everything. Okay. So I'll talk kind of fast and I'm going to do this in these pause breaks. So that way I can give you to the max, optimize our time here. Okay. Your time is so valuable. That is the only thing that's not renewable is time. And so I understand that every second I'm with you, I've got to make sure it's the max minute and second to change your life. So that's what's going to happen here today. Okay. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Okay. Um, use the potty when you need to. Okay. Do that. Get up. We will have a couple breaks. But go when you need, drink as you need, snack as you need. Gold. Okay. Um, it's important you listen to the right people. So who do you listen to? Today you're listening to me, but I'm going to give you a little insight into you want to ensure that you're reading books, you're taking courses, trainings, you're sitting in rooms with people, you're watching live videos, whatever you're ingesting, that you're listening to someone who has been in similar situation as you and has exactly what you want. Write that down. I don't care if I'll ever be your mentor or coach in the future. It could be anybody, but please, have someone, but ensure that this person has been in similar situations as you and has what you want. Because otherwise they will not have the bird's eye view for you. They don't have the compassion and understanding, the depth to even get you anywhere because they don't know the road. They've never traveled it. Does that make sense? I always tell my clients this. Stop taking financial advice from your broke uncle. You're laughing, I'm laughing, but it's because it's true. It's absolutely true. I see this. It's the worst thing that steals anyone's dream. And it happens every day, all the time to most people. Happened to me for way too long in my life. I was seeking love advice from my loved ones, my mom, my siblings, friends that I really trust and adored. And I knew they loved me, of course, but I would seek to them for counsel and coaching on subjects that they themselves did not figure out. And so with love, they would give you advice, yeah, but it's so limited. It's so incorrect. And we're just like cognitive dissonance. We don't even know what's happening. We're like taking love advice from an aunt who cries herself to sleep every night because she's lonely. Like, what? Scratching my head. Why do we do that? Pattern gets to stop. Okay, so like I said, I've been professionally doing this since 2012. But really before that, my journey with manifesting and energetics and being able to see and feel energy. Like I can see the auras around in every single one of your screens right now. I can see energy beyond just the human eye spectrum of what an average person that doesn't even take their time to actually look into energy, like they can't see that stuff. I can see beyond that realm. And because of that, like my earliest memories at 3 years old, I've been coaching. I've been helping people go from where they're at into where they want to be as long as I can remember. It's my purpose. It's what I came here to do. It's what lights me up. It's why I'm here, right? It's why I cannot stop, even though I've made the ultimate dream life happen and I don't ever have to work a business again in my life, but I just can't. This business is a baby of mine. I can't live without it. I have to be here with you. This is one of my purposes for being here, and to help people evolve in the way that they're supposed to, and why they came here. That's truly my heart. Okay, so like you hear, I can feel it. Ooh, there's depth to each and every one of you here, and to each and every one of you watching. You have a great deal of history. You've had a lot of trials and tribulations in your life. Look, heads are nodding. I wasn't born on the right side of the tracks either. I tell you what, some of us are, most of us are not. But what I mean by that is we come into this human form with with inheriting, let's call them lessons. They're really sets of programs inside of us. And some of them are good and some of them are low. Some of them, most of them we grab to evolve. And so we're born with a set of programs, and then we also collect programs. These are habits, patterns, beliefs, um, identities. We pick them up along our way, and we're born with them. So maybe you should write that down. There's two things that really make up you, different from Derica, different from the screen next to you, different from your siblings, different from your neighbors. Like what really makes you so unique is your programming. Is your programming. Okay? We get programming from epigenetics. That's like what we inherit through our generational line. And then we pick them up along our trail here. Again, some good, but a lot not so good. Would you all agree? Like you lived enough life that you're like, yeah, that resonates. Yeah. So some of the batons, I call them, the programs that I inherited was scarcity, great scarcity. I was born in great poverty to a single mother who was on welfare. She was raising 4 kids with what she had, doing, the best that she could. But in coming from great poverty, I picked up a lot of programs of struggle on a different level. Do you all get what I'm trying to say here? Struggle of, not just money doesn't grow on trees and there's never enough, but also there's not enough health either. There's not enough love. There's not enough happiness, right? There was a lot of famine. There was a lot of struggle of just trying to make the basic necessities met in life. And so, coming through that such poverty mindset, that love isn't real, happiness isn't real, health isn't real, wealth isn't real. Like these are the things that I'm just not lucky enough to have. And if you do have them, it's Walt Disney, or you had to been born that way or something. That's the kind of mindset I had. Who can understand that? And so I had it was in my early 20s when I had another, like, I'm done, maybe come to Jesus moment. You all had these moments, right? Where you realize if I don't change my life, I'm not going to make it. Right. So I had that big turn. I'm feeling like a lot of people understand me right now. You feeling it? I was repeating a lot of patterns from my mother, and what I knew, I would see, I was getting the toxic abusive relationships. I was going through the same financial hardships. You get my point. I was always taking prescription drugs or hospitalized, things like that. That it's like, I can't do this. Here I am seeing energy, understanding energy, knowing that I could manifest lollipops and everything else. I was manifesting things since I was a baby, like that. I knew I had this power to will things into existence, and I was trying my best at helping other people do it. Well, then you look at your life and you're going, what in the world is going on? I'm breaking down. I'm breaking down. So that is when I went really deep into, okay, what is making us so different? If we live in the same neighborhood, even our siblings are growing up with very different lives than us. Why? How is that? We're in the same income bracket most of the time. And when our neighbors have a very different reality and experience of the life than we do. Like what makes us so different? What is that? Where does it come from? Right? Because if you take this top level of skin off, you could never tell any of us apart. So it's not our physical being. It's not our parents. It's not the neighborhood. What is it? Put it in the comments. It's the mind. It's the mind. And so I did a deep dive into the mind and began on my professional journey of becoming the clinical hypnotherapist, becoming a behavioral therapist, a life coach, energetics coach, really just studying and diving and certifying myself in every arena of the mind that I could get my fingers on, to heal myself, really to heal myself so I can truly help other people. And so I've now been at this point where I've taught this class or classes like this, to major universities all over the world. So I've attended and hosted and spoke on so many stages, virtually or in person now, that I couldn't even tell you how many. Um, if I think about all the things that I have accomplished since 2012 of diving into the mindset, it still blows my mind. Okay. What I'm getting to after not just completely transforming my life, but also transforming over tens of thousands of lives all over the world, that you're in the right room and you can listen to me, because I've been where in similar situations and I have what you want. And some of the things that I have now today wouldn't make sense because I never seen it in any of my generational lines at all. Like to have perfect A+ health, going from poor, very poor health hospitalizations to now being in such supreme health that I was able to home birth 5 healthy babies from my body at home, no assistance. That's how healthy I am. I haven't taken a prescription drug in 12 years, or over the counter drug in 12 years, right? There's my wealth. I'm very wealthy. I have generational wealth. I have my $1 million estate with legacy land, many properties, all the things that, the sparkles, not because that makes you happy, but because it just makes life easier. And it's the kind of quality of life that I want to bring my children up in versus the feast and famine that I grew up in. So I was able to go from all that and have all the things that I have now. And I'm able to give back and donate and contribute to this world in such a bigger and better way. Like I'm able to do it now, right? I have a soulmate marriage of 15 years that just keeps getting more delicious every day. It's incredible, right? When I've never even known a woman in my line to be married, to have children by the same man. None, like just the simple little things, but just realize that I had a lot of lessons. I grabbed a lot of batons coming from where I did to have them now in this life. Um, it truly, it's an emotional time, because I promise you, if I can do it coming from nothing, welfare, being so broke it hurt, being so emotionally broke, mentally broke, such in a painful spot where there's many times in my life I didn't even want to continue living, to now having this, everything that I do have, um, and all the lives that I do change, you are in the right room. Yeah. Okay. You're in the right room. And I'm taking a deep breath because I can feel a lot of you lights are going off with your stories and where you came from and where you're at even now, and how you want and you get to go to that next level. I can feel that, and I can feel that emotion in your body, and that's good. That's good because you're ready. You're absolutely ready. Okay? You can live that life. I feel a lot of off-gridding life. Yeah, you want to unplug from even corporate climbing. Some of you want to go off grid even and have a homestead. Yeah. Yeah. I used to be a corporate climber that was living check to check, and now I'm an off-grid homesteader too. So, just I'm just letting you know, I got you. I got you. And I homeschool all of my children. That was my big dream, is to stop working a 9 to 5, building someone else's dream, and actually build my dream life with my babies by my side. And I was able to do that. I'm doing that. Okay. So you absolutely can. You absolutely can. All right. So here is what we're going to do today. Take a deep breath. We're going to go over the 3 vital pillars that you need in your life. This is like it's what's going to sustain your health, your dreamy life. Like this is a tabletop. This is your dream life sitting on top of this very stable foundation. You're going to need 3 pillars right here. Okay. Every successful person, and what I mean by successful, I'm not just talking financial abundance when I say that. I mean happiness. That's what a successful person is. Someone who's pursuing their purpose and they're lit up and they're happy every day of their life. Like most of the time. That's a successful person. Okay. They have these 3 things in their life. They're making their dreams come true. I am going to go over these 3 things with you, 45 minutes, each one of these pillars, because you need these 3. Without one, the table will fall. Does that make sense? Okay. So we have the 3 pillars. The first pillar, you want to write this down. We have the manifesting plan. Sorry, the energy in this room is intense. You all want some really big things, don't you? You are all generational change makers. You are here with batons. What does that mean? You grab batons to make massive change in your generational line. Yeah? Yes, I can see it. I can feel it. That's beautiful. We're all family. This is good. Some of you want a soulmate marriage, like partnership in your life, because there's been the line you came from was not successful at that. I feel a lot of you want impeccable health and wellness and spiritual connection, because that wasn't strong in your line. And you're like, we're going to add this into our generation, right? We're going to evolve this way. Some of you do want the financial success and abundance because that freedom of financial freedom was never in your line. And so you're like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Let me drop that into our generation. This world keeps expanding. We're here to expand. Okay. So you're all over the maps. I love it. Okay. Here was coming home. Come in. Get my words. So you have the correct manifesting plan. Vital step number 1, you must have the correct manifesting plan. And I'm going to go over that with you today. Pillar 2 is the correct mindset tools, because you're going to need the correct mindset tools on your side to step by step, like actually follow this plan to execute the manifestation journey. You're going to need to grow as a person to be the vibrational match of whatever you're pulling forth. So you have to have the correct tools. Don't worry, I'll repeat that as we dive into it. And then third, this is support. This one is called co-creation. It's called community. If you all realized you did not come here on a deserted planet. No, this planet's filled with a lot of energies, a lot of people. This is called co-creation because we're not meant to do life. We cannot expand or evolve on our own. We just cannot, not even have a human species. Like there has to be puzzles that come together, okay? So we can expand, and you'll keep seeing that. So I'll show you that the importance of tapping in to the right energy, the right mastermind synergy, if you will, that'll keep you empowered. Okay. That'll grow you energetically and keep you motivated, inspired, and really just continuing doing this journey of life. When we're by ourselves, that just doesn't happen, right? Look, you're just all like, no, we try. Who's tried it? Miss Independent? Who's tried to do everything by themselves? You don't get very far. You just don't. So I'm going to show you how to get the correct, like, what do you look for in the right friends, the right community? What specifically are you looking for, and actually how to tap into them? Because have you ever heard the saying, you are a culmination of your top 5 friends? Literally. Your love life, your bank account, your health is a culmination It's an average of the top 5 friends, top 5 people you have in your life. It's a really big pill to swallow. And but remember, every single thing that I'm telling you is not because I feel it or see it with energy. It's because it's fact. There's not too many facts in this planet, but I'm going to tell you the ones that are. Okay. So how do you ensure that you're actually plugging in, you're tapping into the correct, my tribe is my vibe, right? My vibe is my tribe. Like how do you tap into that? And what do you look for? So we're going to go over these 3 pillars. You excited? Okay. I want you to do a little shake for me. You're watching on replay. Don't just watch me shake. I see you just sitting there. Don't just sit there. Come on. It's been about 20 minutes, right? I can feel it. I can feel when we need to wring out the sponge. Oh, you excited? You excited? Some of you need to get off of your chair and get up. Mm. The 3 pillars. Say, I got these 3 pillars. I got these three pillars I'm gonna learn about that are gonna make me so successful at manifesting goal after goal after goal. Yes, yes, you are. Okay, so I'm also gonna do something incredible. I'm going to do something incredible. I am going to make you an opportunity. I'm going to extend an offer to you at the end. Now, some of you, there's going to be a few of you, I already can see some of the tension in the screens. That's just a program being activated. It's okay. You're here. Come back. You're here. For some of you, it may not resonate. And that's okay, because what you're going to get here today is transformational. That, like, I made a promise and I'm a woman of my word. You are going to get what you need. Okay. No matter what. But I'm never, ever not going to make you an offer to go even bigger, to take it even further, to take it more cemented in your life, because there's someone right next to you. If it's not you, then there is someone right next to you that is crying on the inside, that's going to be like, yes, Derica, me, please, please. This is exactly what I've asked for. This is exactly what I asked for. And I'll never stop because of that. Do you get that? I'll never stop. My greatest mentor never stopped for me, and I'm forever grateful. Do you get that? Because we're never just done. We're always growing or we're dying, period. You're the most sophisticated plant on this planet. Look at a plant. It's always growing. But if it's not, it's what? It's dying. Okay. And so while you're here, while you're living and breathing in this body, you're supposed to be creating your dreams. And so at any given unit of time, no matter where you're at on that spectrum, I want to ensure that someone's got your back. Okay. So that's what's going to happen at the very end here. Please stay tuned. Again, if it doesn't resonate with you, don't take the step, but like still be there. Still be there, because you're going to be breaking through something. And I can feel there's a lot of folks. Remember, I came from great scarcity, a poverty mindset. And I remember when someone would make an offer to me, I would like, ooh, I wouldn't even show up to things. I would watch replays because I was like, oh, they're going to make me an offer. Don't answer the door. There might be someone trying to sell me something at the door. I thought people were going to take advantage of me and they're out to manipulate me and sell me something. And that mindset kept me so broke. It kept me so check to check. It kept me looking at tags and not taking adventures and not donating and all that. It kept me from my birthright of abundance, being so afraid. Now I love opportunities. I'm like, tell me that offer, whether I want it or not. Tell me. I just want to hear, because I'm not afraid of that anymore. And the moment that happened in my life, that's when all the abundance started to pour. When I wasn't afraid of an offer. Hear that. And I say this with love. I've got family member in this audience. Believe me, I'm talking to my loved ones. You are a loved one. Okay. I say this, I don't care if you take me as your coach, take somebody. Okay. All right, here we go. So, you ready? Pillar number one. I'm going to share this with you. We are actually going to go, every pillar is vitally important. There, you can't have one without the other. Like you need all three. Okay. So the first pillar, woo, paper time. I'm going to go over something that's called the Manifest Mastery. Ooh, can't see that. The Manifest Mastery Workbook. You see that? There it is. So this is your plan. This is going to be your magnetic plan. This is what you're going to drop every goal you ever have for the rest of your life on a plan. This is your roadmap. This is the holy grail. This is what you get to follow. This took me over 15 years to create. Okay. You might look at it like a few pages. Woo, there's a lot of power in these pages. It took me many years, many trials and errors and errors and errors to figure out what order to put your plans. What is the correct manifesting plan? There is an order to this. There is laws to this. Okay, there's laws for how do you bring things from the 4D into the 3D. They have to be on a journey. And I call it the recipe. Okay, the recipe for manifesting. So this exact plan that I'm going to go over with you has helped me manifest every single thing that I have in my life. Every single thing that I've mentioned to you. My most recent goal was to manifest my biological father. Okay, and I put it on this plan. Whether it was losing 20 pounds, what you name it, it doesn't have to be physical, doesn't have to be material, doesn't have to just be spiritual or emotional. If you want to be happier, if you want to connect to your fulfillment and enlightenment, every single thing needs a plan. Okay, has to have a plan. So not just my over 1,000 goals I've used for this, but tens of thousands of souls have used this too. Are you ready? Write this down. Step one. Step one of your plan. There's a total of 6 steps in this manifesting plan. And I'm going to show you step one. Oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and share this screen. Do you want to see it in real life in a membership portal? One person says, yes, I'm doing it. Okay, I got some yes. Here we go. I'm going to actually take you into our focused family membership. Where are we? Okay, let me share this with you. Thank you for your patience as I navigate technology. So I'm taking you behind the scenes. Can you see this? Okay, can you see this? Good, everyone's got it. So here's our membership portal. And what I want you to really focus in on is this one right here, the Manifest Mastery Home Study course. So we're going to go in there. And what you're looking at here is step one. Step one is what we're going to go over. Okay, there are 6 steps to dropping in any desire, any goal. Okay. Let's see what this. Oh, nope. We're loading some cool nuggets that's for members only. And I go back to here. Step one, define your dreams. So in this membership, I do have modules and in-depth training. Again, I'm just giving you cream of the crop and what we're going to do. This is going to be a video. This home study course is so magical. It's so in-depth. Literally, there's video trainings, there's documents to go over and really immerse yourself into becoming a manifest master. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take us out of the behind the scenes course And I'm going to take us back into, let me get back to my dashboard here. And I'm going to take you down into our tools and materials. I think this is going to be very more easy for the eyes here. Here we go. So the course and the workbook. Very good. Oh, I actually want to show you this really quickly. If you come in here, there's something called the Dream Expansion Self-Hypnosis. A lot of people sometimes have, raise your hand if this is you, sometimes have difficulties dreaming really big or getting really clear on what is my purpose, right? Okay, a lot of hands are going up. If that is, then that hypnosis would be for you. Um, but that's for members right at this moment. All right, I'm going to go down. Step 1. All right, can you see this? This is the complete course in paper form that you can print out for a lifetime and use again and again and again for every goal that you have. So what we're going to do is go over step 1 right here. Step 1 is my dreams. You don't have this paper yet. Hopefully you will at the end. However, you can write it on a piece of paper. Okay, so just get it on a piece of paper right now. Put step 1, my dreams. Got it? So write my dreams, and I'm going to teach you how to do this. So you must think about your dream life. I want you right now, grab your pen and think about, this is a workshop. You're not just listening to me. Write. Grab your piece of paper. And step 1, think about your dream life. 5, 10, 20 years from now. Some of you can think about multiple lifetimes. I want you to think about so big. What do you want in your life? What is it that you want? If time, money, no object, there's endless amounts of it. Imagine there's endless amounts. What would you have in your life? What would you have in your life? Dream. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes here. And just keep writing. Write. I see some pens going crazy. Other pens not. Just think and then write. What do you have? Soulmate partnership. That is fun, that is loving, that is loyal, that's prosperous, that you have someone to do life with, to celebrate each other's goals with. Do you have financial freedom to take all the travels, like world travel, see all the places that you've always wanted to see? I've always wanted to see the Colosseum or the Eiffel Tower or New York, even, like Statue of Liberty, right? Maybe it's just keep going, right? I'm pulling out what I'm feeling in the room right now. I'm feeling a lot of vacation properties. So you're not only taking vacations around those worlds, but you have homes there. Yeah. 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 Beautiful. Go for it. Go for it. You have a lot of who's starting organizations, nonprofits, helping to end certain terrible things around the world. Yeah. You have some big missions. Is expanding companies, their dream companies, their passions. Yes, I love it. Okay. Keep going. Family, lots of family, helping family build their dreams. Mhm. Mm. Who's writing a book? Raise your hand. I just seen a book. Okay. Yeah. Mhm. I love that. I love it. I love that for you. That gets to happen. Yeah, helping third world countries. Yeah. You can write these in the chat too if you want. And help other people spark that inside of them, their imagination. Because here's the thing, some of you have let that flame inside of you die. You know, as a child, you had this burning flame of imagination. You lived in your imagination because you knew that was the first step of creation. And then that light was stole from you. You know, people saying, get out of your head, or stop just daydreaming, or that's just up in the clouds, or, you know, be realistic. No, do you need to go and go to college for this and get a job for that? And oh, that's living in la la land. Come back down to the real world. You know, we've heard so much stuff that's dimmed our light. And so it's a little challenging for you right now. I can see for some of you it's hard. Like what is my dream life? Like audaciously big. And I'm not telling you that this stuff has to come true. I'm just telling you to have freaking fun. Play like a kid right now. Again, this stuff, okay, let me explain a little bit deeper. You're writing this list because you're creating a gravitational pull for your next goal. What I mean by that, the sun is so massive that it's holding the other planets around it in orbit. Okay, so think of your dream life that you're writing down, so massive, it's like the burning sun. And it's you know, it doesn't mean you have to create every single thing here, but it's sparking something inside of you. It's making you remember why you came here and your power to do it. And so it's going to be so massive that when we set your next goal, it's going to keep it up. It's going to keep you pulling and moving towards it every day. Does that make sense? Okay. So the dream life, huge, huge. Uh, and I want you to think about other people, not just yourself. Like try to go so Walt Disney big. Like his dream was so big that it, even though he's passed, it's still growing. That's how big. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like it has it this thing has to just be massive for you. Like take your breath away. Oh, I love seeing this energy in this room right now. Okay, we're going to pause because we have to move on for time because there's 5 other steps inside of this plan. So you have the step 1. We're then going to move on to step 2 and step 3 of the manifesting plan. So step 2 is something called top goal. I don't know if you can see that. Step 2, top goal. Top goal is that if you can imagine, let me see if I can actually write it down here. You just created your dream life. Just imagine that you've already completed that document. And let me draw this up for you. Okay, so here is the dream life. It's so big that it's like the sun, right? So big, the dream life. Dream life. Can't really see that, but you know what I mean. This here is going to be your top goal. This is it's much smaller, but it's going to be a vehicle. It's going to be a vehicle to the dream life. So let's say that in your dream life you have 7 vacation properties, like Airbnbs or just vacation homes one on each continent. Like, that's what you want. And so your top goal would be buying one house. Okay. So it wouldn't be like all 7 houses. No, unless you already have a lot of those, but you really just need to think about what's a sweet spot goal for you. And it's got to be something that's heading you towards. So it could be something out of here or something that's going towards something in here. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. So again, you're going to have an opportunity at the end here to really dive in and get the full explanation and education around these steps. But right now, just be with me, because if you can get just 10% of what I'm saying right now, your whole life is going to change. So you start with a big step 1 dream life, and it's filled with all sorts of things. And then you funnel it down into one thing. That's why my company is called Focused. You're going to go funnel down to one thing. This one thing could either be a nugget from there or something that's like a part of something up there. It's like I gave the example 7 houses was up there, but you're just going to create one of them, right? So what's that one thing for you? Put it in the comments, put it down. This is going to be something you have no doubt that you can manifest. No doubt. Listen to that word, that you can manifest within 6, let's just say 12 months. 12 months. What is that thing that feels so sweet spot, meaning big enough to excite you, but small enough, I can do this? What am I seeing? Pregnancy, babies. Yes, you could definitely get pregnant within 12 months. Engaged. Yes. Meeting soulmate. Yes. Buying your first property. Yes. Landing the career you've always wanted. Yes. Get very specific on that one though. So you got, I'm going to teach you another beautiful nugget about top goal. The top goal has to be so specific that when you write this goal down and you put it on a 5x7 card and you show it to someone, they're like, oh, I can see that. That's how it has to be, that clear. The car you've always wanted, what kind of car? Okay. 1,500 extra dollars a month. Yep, I can see that. Launching your book. Yep. See? Oh, lots of energy. A trip to Europe. Yep. Losing 20 pounds. Yep. Losing 60 pounds. Just ensure that it's sweet spot. Okay. So can you lose 60 pounds in a year? Oh, I have no doubt, no doubt. But that's because I've had 5 pregnancies. But you got to know where your sweet spot is. Have you ever lost that much weight? If you've only lost the most 6 pounds in your life and you go, I can lose 60, calm down, tiger. You got to be more realistic. So it may be that for you. I'm not doubting you. I'm just saying, check in with yourself. You have to have 0 doubt. Okay. 0 doubt. All right. All right. So it looks like you all are understanding what top goal is to a degree here. Top goal is that one vehicle, something big enough to excite you. That like, yes, this is my next thing. I want more than anything in the world. Out of all those things, I want this thing. It's like, that's your next purpose. But it's small enough to where, I have no doubt. Okay. Let's say you want a business. You want to create a business, but you've never created a business before. Your goal would not be to make 6-figure business in 12 months. It would probably be launching a business within 12 months. That's sweet spot. Because get this, everyone, if you hit that goal before 12 months, think about the level of confidence that just rose inside of you. It's always this or something better. You can always change it. Don't worry. I feel some of you analyzers worrying right now, like, oh, but I want to do it sooner, or it's going to take me longer. Okay. You can always change it, but you have to come from this place of sweet spot right now. And so whatever that looks like for you. Okay. That's step 2. Moving along. Step 3. Step 3 is your why. Step 2 and 3, if you notice, is on the same page because you always have to tie your why to your goal. Why do you want to be a mother? For the person that said pregnancy. Why do you want to be engaged? Think about your goal. Who said that? Why do you want to meet your soulmate? Why do you want that car? Why do you want that job? Why do you want that house? Why? Why? And here's another little nugget. Your why has to make you cry. That's how deep. You know, when I manifested my first home, my why was that it's because I no longer wanted to be homeless. I never wanted to experience homelessness again. I never, wanted my family to ever be homeless again. I wanted to be the first person in the family to have my own property and not pay someone else's mortgage for that security and comfort and roots and all of that it would bring. And so, I was 16 years old when I first set that goal. And then when I was 20, I bought my first home. Okay. Literally working at McDonald's. Did you hear that? Like that was my salary at the time. I made minimum wage when I bought my first home. And so, like, you can do it, is what I'm getting to. You can literally do this, but your why has to be so big like that. Okay. Like it literally has to, it can make you teary eyed. Like, for example, when I just had my first son and I had to go back to work because I was, my FMLA, your disability runs out after 6 weeks of having your first child, having a child. And the mother has to go back to work after 6 weeks if they had a natural birth. Like that's all the state would pay for bonding time. And I remember leaving my 6-year-old at the house, and I'm at work and I'm just chomping away my life on a computer. And I was not happy, not fulfilled doing what I was doing at all. And I could hear my baby cry. I knew my baby was looking for me, looking for his mama, for safety, for comfort and security. Whew, this is emotional. You see how it's already starting to make me cry because I knew my baby needed me and I wasn't there. And I remember I got up off the computer and I ran to that restroom and I looked at that mirror and I locked the door, looked at the mirror, and I just like cried my eyes out, feeling like the worst mother in the world, right? The worst mother because I started lactating, which proved my baby was crying. And it was just like, in that moment, I'm done. I'm done working for someone else, building someone else's dreams. And I made my top goal to retire, to launch my own company and retire me, retire my husband. Like I set specific goals. I am going to retire and open my own business where I never have to work again. I declared in that moment and I tied the why of never missing out on those precious moments with my baby. That's how deep it gets to be. Okay. That's how deep. And I do want to tell you that it was almost 3 years later. It took me 3 years, but I was able to build an empire so big that I walked in with my letter of resignation 3 years later, and that was the best day of my life. I walked away and I never ever worked for anybody ever again. My husband never again. And now we create dozens and dozens of jobs. Okay. And all of our kids are right there next to us. So you just have to ensure your why is that big. Why? Why do you want this thing? And your heart will tell you why. Like your heart literally knows why you came here. It has a destiny, it has a purpose of the chains that you're here to break, the change that you're here to make. Why? Why are you doing it? Okay. We're going to move on to step 4. Step 4 is when you have that down, you must set objectives. Objectives. So what we're doing now, I got to be really quick, but listen to this. What you're doing right now is you're reverse engineering it. So you have this big, beautiful top goal, like being pregnant, okay, buying that first house, the car you want, all of that. I mean, I've done all of those, by the way. So you're in the right space. You set that top goal, and then you open up and you think, all right, tap in. What needs to happen for me to achieve that? And anywhere from 2 to 5 objectives are going to come to your mind. And I'm going to stand up here just so my energy is flowing better. Okay, good. So, what do you need to achieve that top goal? Okay. If it's pregnancy, if you want to achieve becoming a mother, becoming pregnant, creating life here, some of your objectives will be your health. You want to look at your health and wellness, right? Getting that at a better state, like prepared state, healthy, cleansed, vibrant body to carry a baby. So that would be one objective. Maybe the second objective is you may be mending or improving the foundation of you and your partner. I'm totally making these things up, right? But you get it, because some people can be single while they do this. But others, there's a lot of folks who want a strong partnership to go into having a baby with. And so maybe objective is to improve your marriage or partnership, right? Another objective would be getting everything ready for the baby. How about the nursery? Like getting the space, like the physical space prepared for the baby. Okay, so you got your body, you got your relationship, and you got a physical space. So those could be the 3 objectives coming up. Yeah, so who said baby, I would take serious notes right now. Those would be your objectives. And what you're doing is you're like pulling that information out of you. You're going to say, all these objectives will be totally different for everybody, because we're all unique in our journey and what we need and what we don't need, okay? And what's right for us and what's not right for us. So you sit and you go, what do I need? And then it's subtle. Oh, there's a lot of intuitive people here. You're going to hear it very clear. Some of you very clear. So you're going to write that down, okay? And then we're going to chunk that down a little bit further, because that's those are objectives. Those are pretty big, and that can create overwhelm and even burnout. And we won't do it. If you think, oh my goodness, I have to lose 20 pounds, or I have to, stabilize my blood pressure. I have to get fit. I have to eat healthy. I have to do a detox. I have to there's all this stuff I have to do. I'm not going to do it. That's way too big to think about, right? So you get what I'm saying? Think about your goals. Those objectives are like just big. They have many steps in each one of these goals. Does that make sense? Okay. So then we're going to move down to take one objective. And we're moving right along. We're on step 5. Step 5 of the sheet. Step 5. Step 5. Step 5 is you write that objective down. Okay. So let's say your objective is to lose 20 pounds, and one of your objectives is to get your, not sure, I don't like using the word diet, but how you eat prepared for that person, that's 20 pounds lighter, right? So you would have eat for 20 pounds lighter objective. So the action step with that would be meal prepping. Maybe the next action step would be clean out my cabinets. Get all of those ho-hos and Twinkies and stored goods and chocolates out of those little drawers and all the muffins and the marshmallows and the brownies mix. Getting all that stuff that's like filled with high fructose corn syrup and garbage, straight garbage that just does nothing but add a fat cell, a toxin to me, makes me more addictive and makes me want to keep eating it and just getting fatter and fatter so I can eat more. Like, let me get that garbage out. Right. So maybe your first step is to clear out all the pantry. Get it out. Don't let it peer pressure you anymore. Another step would be make a meal plan that's of a healthier, wholesome diet. Make the grocery list for that. Another step, go buy it. Another step, prep it out for 7 days, whatever. So you get what I'm saying. You're going to put all the action steps down here. Okay. And this list is written out in such a way, right, to take you through step by step to where you are only doing one of those things. One. If that's cleaning out my closet, if that's all you got to do for just, 1 day or 7 days, however long it takes you, hopefully not longer than 7 days, an action step, but you're going to pick one. It's all, you're not going to forget about any of the other ones. You're still going to do them, but you're not going to create burnout. You're only going to do one action step at a time towards that goal. Now, some of you might be thinking, Derica, this is like a lot of work. This is not manifesting. I just want to sit here and just meditate my way all the way to it. Show me one person who has ever done that. Show me one person anywhere with factual data that all they did was sit and meditate and all of their wishes dropped through the ceiling. Show me. No, there's not one. You weren't born a clump. You were born with everything about you is designed for movement. You were born like incarnated into a physical moving vehicle, a body made for movement, because you're supposed to move towards it so it can move towards you. That's how it works. Attention, attraction. Do you get it? Every successful person tells you they moved towards it. They followed an impulse. This whole plan is full of impulses from all that is. Oh, wow. You didn't realize that, did you? Some of you just had a cognition. Some of you are like, I've been manifesting my whole life. Yeah, you have. You're going to get it down to that. You're taking what is the energetics, the quantum physics of who we are, the spirit, the soul, the energy of who we are, and we're merging it with the physical worlds. With how do we bring it from the 4D into the 3D? You actually have to do quite logical things to do that. You write things down, you move towards it, you're mixing, you're cooking things up. Okay. You want a cake, you have a recipe, you do the actions, and ding, 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 there's your cake. You get what I'm saying? Same thing with anything. And that's why I tell people manifesting is not magical, it's practical. Miracles are normal. Miracles are normal. I've seen cancers and disease and illnesses leave people's body that they were told they would never heal from. I've seen women become pregnant who their doctor said you could never have a baby. Miracles become normal when you put them into the right plan. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why I'm so passionate. I'm so passionate about this. All right. So we're going to move on. Do you get that? Okay, again, questions in the chat so we can answer them later. Write it down because again, I have to go through this really, really fast. So now we move on to step 6. The last step is the keeping score. It's actually called the scoreboard. You keep score. you're putting the objectives on a scoreboard and you're keeping mental track of them. What do I mean by that? So if one of your objectives is to, let's say, be at a certain weight in your body, let's say your goal is to be 160 pounds and you're at 190 pounds. Okay, well, you go to the scoreboard and you're writing down literally, okay, here's what I'm at, here's where I want to be, 160 pounds. Okay, but right now I'm at 185. Okay, so I'm keeping score. And every 2 weeks, you come back to the scoreboard and you go, okay, where am I at? Where am I at? How close am I to that goal? Okay, now I'm at 180. Okay, and so the science behind this is attention is attraction. Whatever you're focusing on, you are creating. When you know where you're at, you're never in doubt. Ooh, write that down. When you know where you're at, you're never going, it's not coming in. It's not working. Who does that? I've been working for 2 months at this and nothing's changed. You only say that when you don't know your score, right? You look at any successful sport, any successful company, any successful anything, they have a scoreboard. They know where they're at. They know where they're at. So they're never in doubt. They're never fearing it. They're never worrying about it. They're never second guessing it. They know exactly where they're going because they know where they're at. That makes sense? You have to think structure is sexy. Some of you needed to hear that. Being organized, merging the two worlds of the logic and the creative, of the spiritual and the physical. You have to merge these two worlds and dance with it and dance with it. And this again is where the miracles come in. So I have, like I said, an entire course that would take you a week, 2 weeks to get through for what I just explained in 45 minutes. Okay. So if there's questions, that's good to have, but you've got the gist of it. You've got digestible information of this entire plan. Okay. How do I take all those big, beautiful purposes that I'm supposed to create here? How do I get them out of the ether? How do I do that? How you do it? All right. So that's pillar one. Do a shake. Do a shake. Woo! You need to use the restroom. Use the restroom. Okay. Go now. I'm just going to fly through until I feel like I have to go. Take it out. A lot of you have questions. A lot of you are like, Derica, that was just a lot. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What is my objective? What my action steps be? Oh, how long do I have to achieve these things? Oh, is it going to work out? Trust me. Trust me. It always works out. What you're doing is creating a divine plan, a magnetic manifesting plan. And you can't get it wrong. You can't get it wrong. You can't get it wrong. I've seen people with the exact same top goals have many, many different plans to that top goal, and they all make it. As long as it's aligned with you, as long as you've got your top goal and your reason why, and it lights you up, here's what's going to happen. You're going to go. It's like, imagine you're a car and you're driving in the dark to the next state over. You always go, and then the headlight's going to show you further. You go as far as you can see, and you'll see further. You go as far as you can see, and you'll see further. This actual plan is so adaptable and changeable that you can Oh, write a new one in, new action step, erase that one, put that one in. Oh, this is what arrived today. Oh, good. I'm gonna do this one. Well, the thing is, it has such a gravitational pull that you're okay to pivot. You're excited to pivot. You're excited to take this one breadcrumb action step every single day, whatever that looks like. Okay, if you're buying a house, oh my goodness, I'm gonna look at all my credit scores today from 3 different credit bureaus, and I'm gonna see like what my credit score is right now. Like that's my only step today. Okay, okay, because attention equals attraction. Any aligned action is going to bring in your goal. It has to be aligned. A lot of people tell me, Derek, but I'm like I'm taking action all the time, and it didn't happen. Like, tell me why. Okay, were you like action, but accomplishment are different things. Like, are you doing the same old stuff that you've always done and expecting a different result? Or are you going to actually do a plan with the right steps to the right thing? Because that's when you start seeing very different results. Did that hit home? Yeah. The information's all out here. Everything is out here. Everything you want, someone's figured out. It's there. There's more than enough for everybody. It's achievable. If you have the desire, it's your job. All right, I'm moving on. We are going to go into the second pillar. This pillar is mindset tools. Mindset tools. I'm on this pillar. This pillar, this pillar is the second one, the foundation. It's the mindset tools. Now, there are probably some good plans out there in the world. But what I don't see is the right tools. I know a lot of coaches. I'm in the industry. I know a lot of people. A lot of them are friends, and they're missing the tools, the actual tool that's going to help you overcome all the hurdles along your way. See, what's going to happen is, let me sit down for this because this is going to hit home. Let me get ready. Let me help you get ready for this. All of you, each and every, look at me, all of you have went to achieve a goal and then was triggered and then you stopped and your dream was stolen. You never pursued it. It never came in. Think about it. This isn't the first time you've declared any of these top goals. You've probably wanted a baby for a very long time, but something has kept stopping you. Something has prevented you from being pregnant up until this point. Something has prevented you from the income that you want. Something has prevented you from actually launching that book, launching that business, having that body, having that marriage. Think about it. Taking that trip. There's something in your way. Acknowledge that right now. There is something in your mind, a program that is stopping you from pursuing it, stopping it from it materializing, and keeping you in the same old pattern. So that's that's so near and dear to my heart, because I remember I'm a very driven, energetic person. And no matter how hard I work, 2 jobs, 12 hours a day, working so hard to only find myself barely moving the needle, because I didn't get to this. I did not get to my programming. Manifesting is mindset. Everything you have is because of what programs you have in your mind. Everything. The type of health you have right now, your level of health, is due to the type of programming you have. The type of relationships you have in your life is due to the type of programming you have in your brain. You see, whatever you emit, you get. That's a writer downer. And whatever is inside of here is emitting energy, and whatever that energy is, you are getting. And so that's why you don't have the next level life that you want yet, is only because of those programs. So the correct mindset tools, you're like, tell me, Erica, tell me, how do I get to my mind? How do I align my mind? How do I align my mind to my dreams? That should be your question right now. How do I align my mind to this plan? How do I do that? Good question. Hypnosis. Hypnosis. Not just, I'm not going to put that out there and say any hypnosis you find on YouTube. Don't do that to yourself. Proven powerful hypnosis. Hypnosis is an ancient medicine, an ancient tool. You can find it in every different religious text all around the world. It's just called something different. But it's always going to the root cause, getting to the neural pathways, your thought patterns, your impulses, the energetic impulses in your brain. How do I get to those that are firing off? That are firing off this belief, this thought I do not want to have anymore. Hypnosis is the only, and I may be biased when I say how amazing it is because I am a hypnotherapist, but I will also have evidence to back that up. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I remember getting in relationship after relationship, and it was just like same crap, different toilet. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It was like, oh, the same old big black bag of infidelity and manipulation and everything else was just like I was carrying relationship to relationship. It was painful. Those were my programs. And so until I got those out of my brain and then reprogrammed neural pathways that believed in love and the purity of love and the goodness of love, that's what I began emitting and getting. That makes sense? So some of you, you're so beautiful, brilliant in every form. Oh my goodness, you're so intelligent. You create all the plans and the to-do list and everything. But you're fighting your mind. And it's like you're at war with yourself all the time. And you will not win. You will not win your subconscious. Your subconscious is going to manifest whatever you have in there, right or wrong. That's how it serves you. See a lot of questions going off, and that's good. Write them down. Keep putting them in the chat because we are going to get to those questions. We're going to get to those questions. Let's say I remember helping a gal who wanted a trusting, loyal relationship. And she kept attracting the same type of guy. But I said, okay, I asked her, how long is this happening to you? Well, since the first guy I've ever dated. I go, huh, okay. So I knew then this was epigenetics. This is something that she actually inherited, a pattern of not having a committed relationship, a trusting, loyal, loving relationship. Like relationships equaled pain was in her mindset. Like, how did it get there? How did it get there? Did you see your parents go through that? No, she didn't see her parents go through that. Huh. And then it hit me. I felt it. It was her grandmother. She said, there is a story that my grandmother walked in on her husband having an affair. I go, whoa, okay. And she remembered that story. And it was so deep in her system. And when she said it, she started to cry. She was crying. That's how I knew we hit home. Because she actually, this comes from many generations, our programming. It comes from many different generations. Up to 7. I usually don't tell that on a workshop, but 7 generations. And so if you think about all that stuff that we have in many different forms that we're carrying in, she was carrying her program from her grandmother. And she kept manifesting these guys that she kept finding affairs, like she kept finding them cheating on her. Do you hear what I'm saying? And then when we released that program using hypnosis, She then manifested her soulmate that was so repelled against dishonesty and infidelity. And it was like, that wasn't even in his hard drive. Do you understand what I'm saying? He literally wrote down what he was looking for, a loyal, committed relationship, because she did the work on herself. Okay. So, and I can tell you thousands of those stories. Seriously, this is something you don't take lightly. This is that moment where we don't take it lightly. We get very, very like, come in, come in. Your programming is everything. This is what makes you and I different. It's our mindset, our set of programs. Okay. So here we use hypnosis. When our members, when myself and all of my clients, all of my members fill out a plan, we know we have our trusty armor of hypnosis. We don't do life without it. We just don't. Okay. I've been a hypnotherapist since 2012. And what's so amazing about my therapy is that I've taken what's ancient, what's powerful, and what's worked, and I've just made it better. Okay. After years and years and thousands of souls in, you're looking at this chair right here behind me. This chair has sat thousands of sessions. Someone, a real person in my private practice downtown, sat here and I channeled a live hypnosis for so many sessions, channeled it live and recorded them, healing someone's program. Okay. And I was able to edit this down, get each audio edited down, and put amazing binaural beats and frequencies that get anybody around the world, anytime, into a state, into a hypnotic state, a trance level, to get to the mind, and package those up. And now that one audio that saved one life is helping hundreds and hundreds of lives, that one audio around the world. It's powerful. So we have a vault of hypnosis, never scripted, real live hypnosis that you can go in and press play anytime, whether that's a trigger of any kind, anxiety, anger, depression, frustration, loneliness, fears, all sorts of different fears, all sorts of different traumas and abuses, manipulations that you've gone through, or maybe someone in your generational line went through. We have the audio for it. Because I can tell you right now, the reason why you don't have what you want is because there's a program. So what do you think this plan's going to do? Trigger your programs. As you're moving along your plan, that brick wall is going to pop up. And instead of you fighting it or just succumbing and like giving up, you press play on a hypnosis and you get rid of it. Within 15, 20 minutes, you get rid of that big, heavy block that's been there your entire life. For most of you, your entire life. Isn't that wild? It's wild. This is why I get miracle messages nearly every day. I receive an email or a text or a Vox message, a social media DM on some quote miracle that has happened in their life because they got rid of the neural pathway, the actual energetic fire that was firing off what they don't want, and they put in what they do want. So my hypnosis specifically releases and reprograms your neural pathway to match what you do want. Powerful. Okay. So have the right tools. Have the right tools. Have the right mindset tools. Okay. The third thing now, I want to take a ring the sponge moment. Ring it out. I know you have questions. It's okay. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. You can do this with me, by the way. It's deep breathing. You're releasing the busy energy in your body to make room. I know this seems a lot. I know it seems hard, but you're built for hard and you were made to do this. And I could tell you, it's much harder not living out your purpose than following your dreams. Way more hard, way hard taking your goals to the grave. That's hard. This is just takes a spot of courage, but it's always worth it when you expand to that bigger, better person you know you came here to do. When you achieve that manifestation, it's like, I'll do it again and again. I'll do it again and again. Okay. You see some of these patterns if you all think about your mom and your dad and some of the things they've always done because their parents always done. You've got those too. Be honest with yourself. You have a lot of those. Doesn't mean we keep carrying those on. You're made to break those chains. Like I tell you, my mom suffered from a lot of anxiety, and like to the point where if the phone rang or if someone knocked on the door, everybody would hide. It was just like, don't open it, don't open it, don't open it. She was so freaked out. Um, and she would like scatter around the house trying to clean up everything, straighten everything. Everything had to be like just right. She was always afraid of what someone might do if she wasn't doing something right, or what she was just afraid for, like, didn't even make sense in her brain why. I remember when I got my first home and someone knocked on the door, I did the same thing. I was all full of anxiety and like trying to straighten up things and like peeking through the window and like, you know what I'm talking. All of you know what I'm talking about. They're just things that we're just doing, and we're like, why are we doing it? We're not supposed to be doing this anymore. It's because you have a program. Get rid of it. Okay. Real life with you right here. We're doing life together. I'm so thankful and grateful you're here. Yeah, I see the comment. There is a replay because you're going to want to watch this again and again. So support is so important because of the fact that you are who you're around. You become who you're around. If you look at your job right now and the people that are like in your department, your cubicle, all of your energies, like you could be feeling one way, and then as soon as you get into work, you're just like, just take a cup of coffee. Oh, you see that email from so and so? Oh, did you see how she worded that? Blah blah blah. Do you see how they're changing things? They don't even know. They should have asked us first. Like they don't understand what it's like, and the management this and that, and like, oh, I wish they would just give us more sick pay, and I wish they would do that, and we need a raise, and we're just going pom pom pom. Yes, you all know what I'm talking about. When you're surrounded by Debbie Downers, you become one. Okay, that's what happens. And so, and I'm just being dramatic with that so you can understand. But there's other different environments too. If you go around, if you walk into a room and there's a lot of tension in there, you feel the tension, you start feeling awkward. Um, it's just like when you go into a space with someone who's crying, or you watch a movie that someone's crying, like you start crying too. That's how it works. It's so important to protect your energy. It's so important to protect your energy if you want to go to bigger and better places. Look at this at a bigger grand screen. There's like ghetto neighborhoods with like just very low vibrational energies. And when you go in those neighborhoods, all the kind of the cars are the same, the houses look the same, the lawn looks the same, the porches look the same. They're just all broken down. There's some broken windows, there's broken cars, places. There's a lot of more poverty and break-ins, and the messy lawns and garbage cans, all nasty, stacked up everywhere. Like you see it and you like, what's happening here? Because everybody's just being influenced by everybody. Same thing. You go to a different neighborhood or it's more positive, more uplifting, you got more of the positive energies there, you see nicer cars, you see nicer houses, you see nicer lawns, you see like it's pleasing to the eye, right? Even the people are more friendly, less break-ins, all that stuff, right? Right? Yes, it's not rocket science. Like you become what you're around. You put on, you could be feeling really good, and then you put on a song on your radio that's this girl singing about how she got cheated on and her life is all messed up, and he doesn't love her and she's not about to just do her and blah blah blah, and you're like, yeah, yeah, girl. You start getting all sad. Screw him. Oh my goodness. The power of programming. You have to really ensure that you plug in. This was the big, all three of these pillars. I'm telling you, without one, your table falls, your success falls. You are not going to be successful. You're not going to be successful. You're not going to be creating everything you're supposed to be doing here if you don't have these three pillars. Okay. Put your questions. I see. There's a big question here. Okay. What do you do if you can't leave the people that are negative? Okay. Well, I want you to first look at what the space you're coming from. You're coming from a can't place. And when you do that, no possibility is going to fall through. I can't leave them. If you can't leave them, then no options or no how, no possibility is going to come in. So if you can't leave them, I can't change them. First of all, you are a part of a walking God, but you're not God here to change people. So, not our job, not our point. We're not mandated to stay with anybody. We're not, there's no rule book and no chains, no gun to our head saying, hey, you need to stay with that person. You need to stay in that household. You need to be with that person for the rest of your life because they're your mom or your dad or your sister, your brother, your cousin, your best friend of 20 years. So now you have to stay with them. You can't leave them. What? What? That's so backwards. That's so not correct at all. First of all, if you know that you are supposed to create your dreams and goals and you have desires inside of you, then it's your job to get out of there. It's your job to lead by example. It's your job. It's your job. Maybe financially, you've got to wait a little bit before you can do that. Maybe there's some things you have to set in place before you can, create separate houses. Okay, that's a better way of phrasing this. Do you get what I'm saying? You don't have to be around your friends or your family and go over and spend birthdays and birthday parties and barbecues and all that stuff and all the holidays every time and every weekend and every phone call because we've always done it. You don't have to repeat the pattern. You don't have to. You realize right now that you are the change maker, that you can with love get yourself out of there. My family, very low vibrational. Majority of my family, what I mean by that with love is that I see a lot of my family members take their goals to the grave. I see a lot of my family members not manifesting their goals because they're not changing their environment. They're not stopping that same crappy music they're listening to. They're not stopping the same crappy crowds that they hang out in, the same activities they do, and they keep staying in the same stuff, getting the same result. And so I knew if I wanted to break the chain, I had to figure out how to buy my own place or to rent my own place. You know what I mean? How to change jobs, change this, change that. If you can't change the environment, then change yourself. Meaning like flow out of there. Get out of there. If it's a Did you all hear that? You have the right to do that. If it's not serving you, it's definitely not serving them. And now that you know this information, you're now enabling them and hurting yourself. Why would you do that? You don't need to change anybody. If they don't have bigger goals and if that's their life, that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. There's no judgment. No judgment. But that doesn't mean you suffer because someone told you that you don't ever leave your family. That's baloney. If you look in life, real life, and you look at our animals, look at a bird. The actual mama bird pushes the bird out of the nest. And I know that's like, oh, that's so hard. But how is that bird actually going to ever live? Learn how to eat, learn how to fly, learn how to survive if the mom has always done it for them. If they always just stayed in the same little crappy day in and day out stuff, how's anyone ever going to get better? Can't. It's like trying to get yourself clean and you jump in the creek and like trying to keep clean and you're sitting in a creek. How are you going to do that? You can't change your life from that state. So you either one, you leave and you create a plan to be able to do that. And you really start separating yourself, start spending more time with self, healing self, spending less time in those rooms, less time on that phone, less time there, and start spending more time here, start going outside the house more, start doing this until you can hit a vibrational state where you're manifesting the abilities and possibilities to create separate spaces. Okay. Or you influence them so powerfully because you've made it. Now, all of a sudden, your friends and your family is being inspired and they start growing with it. Okay. And they're wanting to change their vibe up because if you can do it, then I can too. Okay. It's not easy, but I didn't say it was easy. I said you gotta do what you gotta do. I left my family, but now I'm able to inspire them. And now I'm able to give when they need. I'm able to give the life of that my children deserve because I got myself out of the creek. Okay. All right. Shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. Those are the three pillars. Now, I'm going to answer all the questions, but first I want to drop this opportunity here for you because there's some of you that's like, yep, I've got the plan, or an idea of the plan, an outline of the plan. I know that I got to get some proven powerful hypnosis on my side, all the hypnotic, powerful, proven tools from the right source on my side. And I know that I have to tap into a very powerful community, like somehow find a plug to plug into those that are striving for better, those that are positive, that I feel actually really good when I'm around. Okay, that's what I need. I'm gonna go crush it. I got this. For those of you who are like, Derrica, can you supply that? Derrica, like, can I have what y'all have? Then I got you. Because that's the person I'm speaking to right now. It's like lit up and like, how can I even like try this out? Like just try it out. No big commitment, but truly step into bravery, step into doing something that's uncomfortable because it should be uncomfortable if you're going to a space you've never been. How can I leap into that and get all those three pillars, get those three steps that I need? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Well, not me. We have the team drop the link in the chat. And I'm going to share something with you. If can I get like, yes, do you want me to share this opportunity? Do you want to see how can you get this that you need? How can you tap into this community? Yes, are you ready for that? How can you join the Focus family? How can you get lifetime access to the Manifest Mastery course? Like, how can I get that in my life? How can I get all of the hypnosis at my mental fingertips anytime that I need access, unlimited access to that, to just play and overcome those things that come in my way? Like, how can I tap into a collective of the synergy so that way, like, honestly, I'm going to share this too with you, but it's going to take you time to like change your atmosphere. And that's legit. And rightfully so. It does take time to materialize higher vibrations. But if you can tap into a community and spend the bulk of your time, like you just know that you're plugged into something, you don't have to worry too much about the outside influences. Do you get what I'm saying? Because your attention is over here attracting something different. That makes sense? Like I have members that there's like, oh my gosh, Derek, I love our group sessions. I love our private chats. I love this. I love our private groups. I love that because I can tap in and come home. Like I can go there and just be revitalized, be re-energized. And I go there because what I was dealing with over there was a lot. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's and this is emotional for me because I didn't have a tribe. I didn't have friends. I didn't have anyone even remotely trying to do what I knew I was supposed to do. You know, their goals were very like just like their next high, their next drink, their next rent check, their next whatever. Very, very different than what my goals were. And I didn't have anyone. And so I knew that when I made it to this level, I was going to supply all three pillars, no matter what tier, no matter what, at the lowest, most inexpensive price I could offer it and like stay afloat. Like I knew for this company to actually rise, right? I knew to be able to sustain the business with all of its expenses, its taxes, its staff, the software. There's a lot to run in a company. If I could supply it enough to make all of those work so we can continue to grow, I'm going to be the person to do that. And so that's the kind of friend you got in me. Okay. I got you. I got you. So I'm going to share with you what this incredible opportunity is right now. This is a $47 offer. And I want you to look here. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. What you got today was valuable, yes. Okay. What you got today was incredible. It has the power to change your life. Yes. Say yes. Like, gosh. Yes. Are you feeling fired up, powered up? You've got so much gold, the three pillars that's going to change your life and how to do these things. And now, where can I get those things? Like, how can I really get the things without doing tons of home research and internet research and making a lot of mistakes and wasting a lot of time trying to find the right tribe and find and pick all the parts and put them all together? How do I save myself all that time, stress, energy, and money? And how do I get what I know is going to work right here at an incredible price? So it's $47 for the three pillars that I just mentioned to you right now. And here's what's going to happen. You get, for the 47, you're going to get lifetime access. $47 is going to get you lifetime access to this course that literally that's injected 15 years of love and power into it. Okay. $47 is what you get for this. For lifetime access, like lifetime access. Even when I make additions and change and add things in here, the hypnosis you saw in there, the dream expansion audio, the videos, the whole entire course and printable lifetime access, $47. Yeah. That is just a dinner. Like you're going to get something where you can create all of your dreams for your entire life for $47. The next thing I'm going to throw in is an actual one-on-one private session with a coach. Now, you may get me if I'm available, or a focus certified coach that is a multi-level tier master in this company. They are a manifesting master. They've gone through all of my training. They've created their dream life over and over. They live their dream life every day. They're a coach in this company that's completely certified. You're going to have a session with a focus certified coach that's going to ensure that you fill this out completely, properly. So you're not just taking action, but you're taking accomplishments. You're actually heading in the right direction. Okay. Like time is everything. Okay. So we're not wasting time. We're actually making sure your purpose is on there, the right action steps are on there, and you're lit up. Okay, because this is your gravitational pull. So we're going to ensure that that happens for you privately. And then, oh my goodness. So this one, you are going to have for free 30 days. Remember, these two are bonuses. 30 days of the Manifest Mastery Live membership. Now, in that membership is where you're going to get those solid 2 other pillars, where you have you're tapping into the community, everything that we offer here. Okay, to where the private, behind doors, out of the public, our home, our family. We have 2 group meetings that you're going to get, 2 masterminds you're going to get in 30 days, where I'm going to be the host of that mastermind. It's going to be a room full of like-minded individuals that you get to know personally. You can exchange information. If you like, it's totally up to you, but you plug into something, a mastermind that's so amplified in creation that I can't even begin to express it in English. When you step into a room of all high vibe members like this, that we're all tuned up, our energy is vibrating so high, and you actually synergize with that, you plug into it, you're amplified 100 times. That meaning that the higher you vibrate, the faster you're manifesting. Okay, we're dropping nuggets of gold, we're doing hypnosis on that call, we're answering your questions. It's powerful. But not only do you get that support, remember that 3rd pillar, the 2nd pillar, for 30 days, you're getting access, unlimited access for 30 days to every single hypnosis I've ever created, to get rid of all of those contradicting, blocking programs in your mind for 30 days. All of that for $47. If this is resonating with you right now, I want you to click the link. Click the link. I want to celebrate you. I want to see names. I am going to end the recording here. And I'm going to stay on to answer all of those questions. That sound good? I'm going to stay on to answer all your questions. I want to celebrate everyone as they're joining the Focus family. Remember, this is not recurring, right? So it's not going to be that you're going to be, automatically entering into a contract or an agreement where we're going to be doing this month to month, month to month. I would love for you, if this is your family, when you get in and you sample it all and you're feeling the success and change and you're like, this is home, then I would love for you to stay with the family. Stay with the family. Like, when you find something that works, don't leave. I've had my mentor for over 10 years. I'm not going nowhere, because every year just keeps getting better and better. And that's what I want for all of my community family members here, that we all keep succeeding and rising together. So it's up to you. You could definitely continue to keep going, but you don't have to. It's not like we're going to charge your card again. Okay. If you do want to continue on, we will talk about that. We can set up a time and meet and talk. You can contact support, and be like, no, don't end it. I want to keep going. But either ways, that's in the future. What I want for you to think about right now is getting what you need and giving this thing a go. Trusting your heart right now. If you're uncomfortable, good, you should be. That means it's stretchy. It means it's right. And it is just know that this will be and has all possibility to be the best $47 you've ever spent in your life. And you're worth every penny and way more than that to invest in your future with. Okay. So again, this is not a hard sell. I'm not here to influence any of you to do something you don't want to do. This is if your heart's like, Derica, yes, 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 yes. Like, I've already purchased it, which I've already seen 2 come through. Like, good, celebrating. I'm going to celebrate you in a moment. So it's just like, I made this happen. This is for me. This is for me. Then follow that, because I'm going to nurse that and teach you how you keep following the yes impulses and how they'll keep expanding you and bringing in your life that you came here to live. You can have a big, beautiful life in every corner of your life, but you have to plug into the right things. Okay. You got to do that. So give this 30 days your best, and then let's see where it goes. Okay. If it's not for you, it's not for you. If it's for you, then it's for you. You have nothing to lose in a life, so much better life to gain. Seriously. And even if it's not for you, you still get this for life. Okay? Because it's incredible. Show me one plan better than this. It's incredible. Okay. So you're worthy of having that. And I would love to welcome you. And I'd love to welcome everyone who's coming in. I'm seeing the notifications. This is fantastic. And I'm going to answer all your questions. So much love. The replay is going to be available for a few days. I cannot keep this $47 investment there for too long. As you know, I wouldn't be able to sustain that. Not right now. I just wouldn't be able to sustain that. And so as everything else grows, so is that price. And if I'm offering that to you right now, that's what you see, then I would take it right now, because I may not ever say that price again. That's insane. That's insane. I'm sponsoring you at that price. You have to understand that. I'm sponsoring the coaching call. I'm sponsoring technology, the membership, all of that, with you paying only $47. So I'm going to go 110%. How you got to meet me halfway. You got to meet me. I send you so much love. We're going to end the recording there. Can you end the recording?